Hey guys, it's Sika and welcome back to Metal Gear Solid. So, it's time to find Metal Gear. You know, it kind of shows just how popular Rex is when it, obviously it's in this, but then...
Snake, it's me.
What's wrong? Did you find a good place to hide?
Yeah, thanks to the stealth gear. It looks like they've finished getting Metal Gear ready.
How do you know that?
I overheard them talking. Where are you now?
Right in front of Metal Gear, but it's strange.
What is?
There's nobody here. No guards, nobody patrolling. It's too quiet.
Maybe because they're all ready. They said they even input the PAL codes.
What should I do?
All we can do is use the override system that President Baker told you about.
But I've only got one of the 3 keys, and besides that, like Ocelot said, there's some trick to using the keys.
Leave it to me.
You got some kind of plan?
Well, I'm in the computer room right now. I'm trying to access Baker's private files.
Baker's files? Don't you need a password?
Of course, but there are ways.
Are you a hacker?
Yup, that describes me pretty well.
Does it look like you can get in?
I don't know yet. I'll give it a try.
I'm counting on you.
Anyway, as I said, it's pretty substantial about how popular something is when, obviously, first showed up here, but then Metal Gear Solid 4, it came back again. In fact, you controlled it. And then Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, like the Metal Gear that you fought in there, has like its base form as Rex. It just goes to show just how popular Rex is as a...
Snake, it's me again.
How's it going?
Not bad. I just got past his 3rd security level. He was a pretty careful guy.
Do you think you'll break in soon?
I never met a system I couldn't bust into.
Okay, keep trying.
Just shows just how much of an impact, like out of all the Metal Gears, Rex had the biggest impact in the series. Am I gonna get another call from Otacon? Stuff over there I could get. Yeah. We'll just climb over the top of Rex instead. Here we go.
Snake, I did it!
You got past security?
Bingo!
Great. So what do you got?
I accessed the confidential Metal Gear file.
So what about the PAL override system that Baker talked about?
I haven't found it yet.
That's what I need to know.
But Snake, I found something else.
What?
The secret behind the new nuclear weapon. Just as I thought, the nuclear warhead is designed to be fired from the railgun like a projectile. It doesn't use fuel, so it isn't considered a missile. That way it can get around all sorts of international treaties.
Pretty sneaky.
Yes, but effective. And that's not even the scariest thing about this weapon.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
It's a stealth weapon.
You mean it won't show up on radar?
Yeah. The truth is, they've been working on a stealth missile since the late 70s.
Why weren't they able to develop one until now?
Because of the missile rocket propulsion system, it would be picked up by enemy satellites.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
But unlike a missile, the railgun doesn't burn any propellant, so it can't be detected by any current ballistic missile detection systems.
An invisible nuclear warhead.
Totally impossible to intercept. And on top of that, it's got a surface-piercing warhead designed to penetrate hardened underground bases.
We learned that lesson in the Gulf War.
This thing could mean the end of the world.
It's the ultimate weapon. And from a political point of view, it avoids the problem of nuclear reduction and nuclear inspections. Colonel, is this true? Are you listening?
I'm listening.
If word of this got out, it could delay the signing of the START 3 treaty and cause a huge international incident.
Yeah, it would be nasty. The United States would be denounced by the UN. It could even bring the president down.
Did you know this, Colonel?
I'm sorry.
You've changed, Colonel.
I won't make any excuses.
Snake, Listen to me. This new nuclear weapon, it's never actually been tested, only simulated.
You mean they ran a computer model?
Yeah, that's why they were conducting this exercise. They needed to get actual experimental data to back up the simulation.
What were the results of the exercise?
It looks like it went better than they hoped for, but I can't find the data anywhere on this network. You'd think the data as important as that would be carefully recorded.
It was. President Baker gave me an optical disc with all of the test data.
What? Do you still have it?
No, Ocelot took it from me.
Damn. The terrorists have replaced the dummy warhead with a real warhead. Once they input the detonation codes, they should be ready to launch.
So you think they can do it?
Well, the dummy warhead was designed to be identical to the real thing, so I think so.
Did you find out how to override it yet?
Not yet. It must be in a separate file. Right now I'm looking through all of Baker's personal files.
We're counting on you.
You gotta think just how terrifying it will be in the future when railguns actually become a thing. Because Navy in America is testing it and such. And God knows if we start fighting in space, it's gonna be railguns, no doubt. Because, you know, that way you don't have to, outside of, you know, colliding with objects, there's no worry of it going awry. Oh, come on. No, give me a second. Fine, fine. What is Otacon?
Snake.
Did you find it?
No, I haven't found out about the override system yet, but I found Baker's ulterior motive.
He's just looking to get rich, isn't he?
Well, that's part of it. Armstech is in much worse financial trouble than I thought.
I know they lost their bid to make the next generation fighter jet. That plus the reduction in SDI spending.
It looks like there was even some talk of a hostile takeover.
Everything was riding on this project, I guess.
And it looks like we were paying a lot of bribe money to the DARPA chief.
Bribe money, huh?
Yeah, and Baker was a big proponent of the nuclear deterrent theory.
I see. So anyway, what about the override?
Just give me a little bit longer.
Oops, that's not what I want.
Did you find the file for the
Well, I'm just gonna skip that, I guess.
What was that noise?
That was nothing. Nothing at all.
Okay, I've entered the PAL codes and disengaged the safety device. We can launch anytime.
There's still no response from Washington. It looks like we'll have to show them that we mean business.
Should I set it for Cherniton, Russia?
No, there's been a change. The new target is Lopnor, China.
Why, boss?
I'm sure neither you nor Mr. Golukovich would really like to see a nuclear bomb dropped on your motherland, right?
Liquid. But why? There's nothing there.
Wrong. It's a nuclear test site.
A nuclear test site?
If we nuke a major population center, the game's over. But a nuclear explosion at a test site can still be concealed from the public. Meanwhile, Washington will be worried about the retaliatory strike from China.
That'll probably mean top-secret talks between both countries' leaders.
Of course. And in the process, the President will be forced to divulge the existence of a new and highly destabilizing nuclear weapon to the Chinese. What do you think that will do to the US's reputation? Or the President's?
And with the CTBT, that means that China and India. I see.
Yes. When the other countries hear about this new weapon, they'll all want to contact us. Washington won't be very happy when we start selling their own system to the highest bidders. Yes, the President will break. He will give in to our demands.
Big Boss's DNA and $1 billion. $1 billion?
That money will be used to cure our genome soldiers as well. I'm also including the Fox-Die vaccine in our demands.
Fox-Die. It killed Octopus and the Armstech president. So it's true that it affects older people first. Mantis might not have been affected because he wore a mask.
Wolf wasn't infected either. Perhaps due to those tranquilizers she always took.
Something to do with the adrenaline level in the blood. Or maybe it's just because this fox dye was still experimental and they haven't worked out all the bugs yet.
In any case, have you heard from your friend, Colonel Sergei Golukovich, at the Spetsnaz?
He still has doubts about the ability of Metal Gear. He said we can talk after Metal Gear's test launch is successful.
He's a very prudent man.
There's nothing to worry about. The Colonel wants Metal Gear and a new nuclear weapon so bad he can taste it. If Russia wants to regain its position as a military superpower, they need to reinforce their nuclear arsenal. They need a nuclear weapon that can't be intercepted. Metal Gear will allow them to gain first strike capability over the rest of the world.
Their regular army is in shambles, and they think they can restore their country's military power with nuclear weapons? Golukovich, he's no warrior. He's a politician.
But he's the one who gave us the Hind and most of our other heavy firepower.
He's got over 1,000 soldiers under his command. If we join forces, we could put up quite a resistance here. Since Mantis died, the Genome Soldiers' brainwashing has started to wear off. I'm worried about the men's morale. An alliance with the Russians would boost that as well.
What are you saying?
We're not going anywhere. We're going to dig in here.
We could still escape.
We've got the most powerful weapon ever made, and we're about to ally with Golukovich's forces.
Are you going to fight the whole world?
And what's wrong with that? We can launch a nuclear warhead at any target on this planet. A nuclear warhead invisible to radar. And on top of that, this base is full of spare nuclear warheads. Once we get the DNA and the money, the world will be ours!
What about your promise to Colonel Golukovich?
I have no interest in the revival of Mother Russia.
You're not thinking of reviving Big Boss's dream.
From today, call this place Outer Heaven.
Big Boss's dream.
But boss, you're not worried about the PAL being overridden. If the code is in it again, it'll be deactivated.
No need to worry. The DARPA chief and the Armstech president are both dead.
Does Snake know how the override system works?
You interrogated him, don't you know?
He didn't have any keys on him.
Good. Then no one can stop Metal Gear now.
By the way, what should we do with that woman? Want me to kill her?
Let her live. She's Campbell's niece, and Snake cares for her. We'll keep her as our ace in the hole.
Meryl, she's alive.
Snake, I found Baker's top-secret files.
Great job.
How's it going there?
They've finished inputting the PAL codes. So how do we deactivate them?
Okay, you see the override system that the President was talking about? It can also be used to input the detonation codes. You see, if you insert the keys when the warhead is active, you deactivate it. And if you insert them when it's inactive, it becomes activated. And you can only use the keys once.
Only once, huh?
Yeah, you better get started. We don't have much time.
But it takes 3 keys, right? I've only got 1 of them.
Hold on a minute. You see, that's the trick. You already have all 3 keys.
What are you talking about?
The card key is made of a shape memory alloy.
Shape memory alloy?
Yes. It's a material that changes shape at different temperatures. The key is made out of it.
This card key?
Yeah. The card key changes shape at different temperatures.
So this key is actually 3 keys in 1. Clever.
Can you see the input terminals in the center of the control room?
I see them.
Those 3 laptop terminals are for the emergency input. There should be a symbol on each screen. Each symbol corresponds to a different key. Input the keys in order from left to right. The left one's for the room temperature key. See the symbol? Next to that goes the low temperature key. The one on the right is the high temperature key.
Okay, I got it. First, I change the shape of the card, and then I input them in order, right?
That's right. All you do is insert the card keys. After you insert the key into the module, a hard disk reads the information contained on it. Once you've finished with all 3 terminals, the code input process is complete. But here's the thing. You can only use the key 3 times. It's an emergency system. It's only meant to be used once.
The world is riding on that key, Snake.
Who's that? Damn! The key fell in the drainage ditch.
Snake! This is bulletproof glass. There's no way in. I'll enjoy watching you die.
Snake, you've got to get that key.
Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, shit. This is not good. This is really not good. All right. That's good. Shit, I need rations. I hope that's a ration over there. Okay, now that I'm not trying to fight for my life, I'm like 99% certain that the sound effect for the key card falling down is literally just someone going into a microphone. Stinger missiles only? Crap. I'm screwed. So I know where the card key is. Played this game enough times to know where it is. This is going to be a lot more difficult because I'm low on health. Very low on health. So, this is, I mean, an understandable, but still, this is a padding part of the game. Because you gotta backtrack again. That's a big problem that I think I see with this game. It's very backtracky in the not so good way. You know, like there's a Metroidvania-like games, you know, like, well, Metroid and Castlevania, where you like go forward and backwards and such, but usually it's in a more open area. So you have more control over where you go and such and what you can access. It's I mean, it's a linear game. Like, the game is linear. So it's not... I have to be careful here. Be super careful here. Okay, well, I can't go that way, but that's fine. I don't need to. That's not the way I want to go. Yeah, I want to go. It's not the way I want to go. That's the way I want to go. Ration, please. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't gonna work, is it? Nope. Wait. I thought the keys. I thought it was meant to be here. Shit. It lied to me. Thanos bullets. Ration. Well, I suppose I can use that if need be. I'm not losing a lot of health doing this, so I'll keep going. could have sworn that the drainage ditch, it was in here. Yeah, no, it's, okay, you know, I'll just use that now. Could have sworn it's over here. Unless it's in another alcove. Oh wait, I've actually got plenty of chaff grenades. Never mind, I'm fine. I was worried there. There it is. I'm gonna throw another one of these. Alrighty, righty. This is fucking... Okay, so now I'm just gonna make my way back up there. Alright. And we'll go do that then. You know, to be honest, I know this is like me going into bitching and play mode here. But I think I probably would have been better off if I had just chose Twin Snakes. Because it's like, look. This was a good game at the time. But Hoo Boy's elements of it aged just so bad. Just so bad. The controls being the biggest culprit. Or the biggest victim, I should say. Oh boy, mandatory having to spend my chaff grenades. I need these for the return trip, guys.
PAL code number 1. Confirm. Awaiting PAL code number 2.
Okay, that takes care of PAL code number 1. Now, PAL number 2, freeze the key.
I mean, that one's easy enough. How did you not spot me? You know what? I won't look a gift horse in the mouth if you won't. Okay. Fired far more bullets than I wanted to down range, but you know what? I got those bullets down range. But yeah, it's... As I was saying, like, again, I know I'm going into a little bit of a bitching and moaning mode here. But a lot of stuff in this game hasn't aged very well. Like, the controls are pretty crappy. The gunplay is clunky as all hell. And again, don't get me wrong. I am aware of how old this game is. I am very much aware of how old this game is. The problem is that this does the story better. Like, they went into stupid territory with some of the things, like fucking Twin Snakes. He jumps on a hind missile, jumps in the air, and then shoots. It's like, they never did that stuff in the future ones, unless you include, you know, Metal Gear Solid 4 with Raiden and Rising with Raiden. In fact, it was mostly Raiden. Like, it was usually kept mostly down to earth. You know, and it's like, yeah, sure, you could argue, oh, well, Snake was, like, super, like, you know, super much older in that one compared to this one. Well, it's not an excuse. That's not an excuse at all. It's just, I don't know. I like how they do the story and the scenes better in this game, but I hate the controls. Like, I hate the controls clunkiness. It is annoying. It is annoying at the least and infuriating at the worst. Not to mention here is, you know, it's like, oh, hey, I hope you kept playing a champ and I need to do this 4 times. Excuse me. Excuse my burps. I have to do this 4 times. I'm not gonna get a refill on my rations, am I? Nope. Right, so... I'm gonna just do the same thing I just did then. Because I know that some of them's... I know that guards spawn here now. Now I wait. I feel like I'm in goddamn Five Nights at Freddy's right now. Nope. Hey, there we go. That wasn't as long as I thought it would be. Also, no guards. Well, I guess I'm going. Shit, I can't use the... Damn it, I can't use the chaff grenade. Unless I can get more chaff grenades, I can't... One second. Wait, if I do... Okay, so that's 3, 2, 1. So I can only use the chaff grenade in the room once. And I'll just have to skill dodge it the rest of the time. You know, playing for this on hard mode makes me appreciate how difficult the game actually is. Like, seriously, like, you take the radar for granted in the Metal Gear Solid games. But when the game decides that it's not going to give you a radar, whoo boy, does that get annoying. And difficult. And annoyingly difficult. Because then you can't see shit. You are blind. I didn't hear what was that noise, did I? Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can dodge. Okay, ready. Set. Aha! And the PAL key is in there.
PAL code number 2 confirmed. Awaiting PAL code number 3.
Okay, there goes PAL code number 2. Next comes PAL number 3. Warm the key.
Okay, so I'll get back to you once I've done that, because I don't think there's anything big that's going to happen before then. Well, there's one or two things. Okay, so while I make my way back to where I need to go, I'm going to call it good for this episode, and next episode's going to be the final one, because we are right at the end of the game here, and I'm almost certain that I can... What am I saying? Of course I can. I choose when the episode ends. So I'm going to call it good for this episode, and next episode will be the finale. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye!